Daddy Show. Step off.
It's time for the main event.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is the one and only Tom Clark's Main Event. Wait for it. What's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. We're early. Don't anybody be mad at me, okay? I got stuff to do. Actually, our Christmas parade is here in town. It's our Christmas parade is here in town in like 3 hours. So I need to buffer in between picking up some family and bringing them down, a couple of kids, and we're going to enjoy the parade. So yeah, going to be cool. As you can see, I'm festive. Gobble, gobble. Turkey Day is a week from yesterday. I can't wait. I'm all about it. I'm going to have Thanksgiving this Saturday night with my mom. And then we're going to have Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving somewhere else. And we're actually going to do something Sunday too. So gobble, gobble is all I can tell you. How's everybody doing out there? Happy Friday to you. Hope you guys have had a great week. You know, I don't really do buttons anymore. I feel like I'm the guy that started the fad here on the Facebook with all the buttons. And I just kind of feel like I just sort of, you know, ran it into the ground. So I stopped doing them a good long time ago. You guys know I used to be all about the buttons. But again, I haven't done it in a very long time. But you know what? Since we're a week away from Turkey Day, how about this? It's terrible. It doesn't even fit the screen. I didn't want to stretch the image. That thing's been up there for like 3 years. Isn't that terrible? I should have took the time to get a new image and maybe done a different gobble. But you know what? Turkey Day is nearly upon us, kids. So there you go. We may not get a much of an audience here today. Some folks may not realize that we went an hour earlier today. It is what it is. Those folks can catch us on replay. For those of you who have shown up today, live and in living color, please and thank you, smash the like button, okay? Smash it till your thumb hurts, okay? And as you're doing that, after you do that, if you will, share this on your Facebook page, on your Twitter, whatever that looks like, whatever socials you have where you can share a hyperlink. I would ask very nicely, please, and thank you to do so. We're broadcasting right now, not just on the Facebook, but on the YouTube, and also on boinkstudios.com. B-O-I-N-K, boinkstudios.com is the website where you can find links to this show, Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M Podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. All three of these podcasts are available from Boink Studios. Nothing's behind a paywall, no investment required. All you need is an internet connection and to follow the shows. We try to make them fun. We try to make them cool. We always have a good time doing these shows. So we hope that you enjoy them. We hope that you're having fun with them. So please and thank you if you will visit boinkstudios.com. Hopefully you've been there already. Bookmark the site. Follow the shows on all the major platforms. Follow us on the socials. I guarantee you'll enjoy it. This past Tuesday, we put a brand new 6M podcast out. It's our review of The Nice Guys, starring Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. It's a fun episode. Go check it out. It's myself and Phil Lindsay. Shout out to Phil Lindsay today. And also, the Two Nations Under Ted podcast is our tribute to Ted Lasso, where we review the show, all 3 seasons. Season 2, Episode 1 premieres tomorrow morning at 10 Eastern on Boink Studios YouTube. Don't worry, you can also watch it on boinkstudios.com if you so desire. It is all pre-recorded content, but the video and audio versions, both of that podcast premiere in the morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. So there you have it. If you're a Ted Lasso fan, you'll enjoy the show. We're churning right along. We love recording it. We hope that you have enjoyed following the show, and we hope you're getting a kick out of it. Again, kids, before we get started, smash the like button. We got lots to talk about here today. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Let's say some hellos, and then we've got a big event coming up this weekend that we want to preview here today. As you can see on the ticker, this is episode number 330 We are 30 weeks removed from the 300th anniversary celebration of this here little podcast. I couldn't get it out. Going strong since 2014. Yes, we're in season 10. It's been awesome. I have no desire to stop the show. I love doing it. I hope you guys enjoy watching and listening. It means loads to me. So as I always say, thank you very much. Hope everyone here has a great Thanksgiving next week. Let's get to it. Ray All Day is here. What's up, my friend? Good to see you. Brino is here. What's up, dude? I had to go early for Brino to be here on time. It's all good. Sugar Shane, what's going on? Kevin, good to see you, my friend. Jumping Jeff's in the house. Robbie, good to see you, my friend. Let's see. Is one of my headlines 5.5 hours of wrestling? No, actually, I have two headlines. The main topic we're going to cover and then open floor. I'm keeping it very easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. I promise you. So there'll be plenty of opportunity for whoever's here today to speak up and to make your voice heard. We'll be opening this sucker up in the next, we'll say 30 to 40 minutes, and you guys can have an opportunity to say whatever you want to say, provided it is clean and respectful. How about that? Charlotte, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. I appreciate you, Jeff, very much. Marie's asking if she missed a turkey clip. Marie, this is just because I love you. How about this? I know what you're thinking. That image sucks. You're right. You're right. I didn't take the time to fix it. I got this behind me. Isn't that pretty? If you're only listening to the audio version of this show, you don't know what I'm talking about. I promise you, there's delicious food behind me. It's not real. Well, it was at one time. Well, maybe it was never real. Maybe it was all set up just for that photo. Oh well. As you can see on the screen, my name is Tom Clark, and you can always feel free to call me, Oh Captain, my Captain. I answer to either name. So there you go. If you kids are ready, how about we get into it? What's happening this weekend? Have you heard? AEW Full Gear is happening this weekend. Should be a really, really good show. There are 9 big matches as of this moment that are signed and ready to roll. I'm very much looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a fun show. We're also going to get the appearance of supposedly a major name that all AEW fans know, and this person will be signing their contract at Full Gear. And we can talk about that here today as well. Let's run down the card, and instead of going through all the matches, let's go one by one, and let's talk about what you guys think and what you believe is going to happen. First up, assuming this goes in order, first up on the night is MJF and TBA, not to be confused with TVA. By the way, if you haven't caught up on Loki, I highly recommend you do so. Don't believe the haters. Don't believe them. They're all Grinches anyway that only got coal in their bags at Halloween, okay? That's who they are. They got rocks and coal in their stockings. I'll get it. They hate everything anyhow. Loki is phenomenal. I would not steer you wrong, especially when it comes to Marvel content. Believe that, okay? First match out the gate, MJF and TBA versus The Guns. That's Austin and Colton to you. Bullet Club Gold. Tag team match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. My gut is telling me it's time to flip these belts. It's not a prediction. I'm not saying I know anything. I know nothing. Okay? In my opinion, in my humble opinion, it is time to flip these belts. That's just me talking. You guys can take that or leave it. Whatever you think. Absolutely fine with me. But, and I'll tell you something else that needs to be done. Not just the Ring of Honor championships. In my opinion, it's time to change those up. But also, when it comes to that AEW World title, my statement to Mr. Khan or whoever's listening or watching, resolve the belt situation. Resolve it. I'm not a big fan of, I stole this belt and I stole that belt and they stole that belt. Now the guy can't get it back. Resolve the belt situation. Okay? That's my statement here today. So, what do you guys think about the tag team match? First of all, is it going to be Samoa Joe tagging with MJF, do you think? And if so, are they keeping these championship belts, or is Joe going to screw him and they lose the belts to Bullet Club Gold? What is your guys' honest opinion? I'd love to hear it. What do you guys think? Ray says the Guns win. Somehow MJF's partner will turn on him. Right out the gate, I wonder, Ray, do you think right out the gate Joe turns on him, or do you think he tags with him for a while till Cole comes back and then he turns on him? I don't have a good answer for you. It kind of seems like, why would he turn on him the first match out? I could be wrong. Maybe you'll be right. I just feel like it's time to get those belts off of them. Not the end of the world if they don't. I don't have a dog in the hunt. It's just opinion. But what do you guys think? Tim, I've been doing good. How are you doing, my friend? Everybody, please welcome Faye Devon to the show. Faye is a member, a proud member, card-carrying member, and supporter and co-host of the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. Faye will be joining me 2 weeks from today. Next week, kids, big announcement. We will not be here next week. Know why? There's a very good reason why we won't be here next week. You know what it is? We're taking the week next week for our families. Okay? That's what we're doing here at the show. We're going to be eating turkey on Thursday and possibly eating more on Friday. And there's a possibility we might be eating turkey on Saturday. So there you go. We'll see. But we won't be here either way. So whether it's ham or turkey, get your fill. We won't be here next week. Where'd you go? Reese says, doesn't look good when you have your champion defend it without the belt present. It's weird, isn't it? Also makes management look stupid. Well, I see where you're coming from. Here's what I'm glad that they don't do. I hate, in case y'all didn't know, I'll fill you in. Apparently, I'm not loud enough. Actually, I am. Everybody gets the point. But sometimes I like repeating myself just because it's fun and it makes me happy. I am not a big fan of the on-screen authority figure. Not only am I not a big fan, if I never saw it again, it'd be too soon. Because I effing hate it. And I keep my show clean. I despise it. I loathe it. It's effing horrible. You add up the amount of time that the other company's authority figures spend on the mic and in backstage vignettes and all this other hoo-ha. Hoy vey. I can't stand it. So thank God this company doesn't do that. I'm going to tell you something. The day this company starts putting on-screen authority figures on Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, pay-per-view, whatever, is the day I maybe don't watch as much. It's just more talking and more talking and more talking and more. Stop. Right? Hui. So I'm glad that hasn't happened. In my opinion, it makes the champ look dumber than anybody there. Because seeing as how there's no present authority figures on TV every week, the fact of the matter is management being hands off doesn't really surprise me too awful much, because it could just be management's statement without making a statement is, look, you got yourself into this, get yourself out. This is your problem. You need to be the ones to figure this out. You know what I mean? You need to be the ones to sort this nonsense out. You're the ones that started this. You need to figure it out. Without saying it, they've essentially said that. But you're right. It doesn't look good. In my opinion, it doesn't look good. Tim says, yes, Joe will be MJF's partner, and Joe most likely he walks off and leaves MJF alone. A lot of people believe that. Faye says, I think I would like to see Ricky retain, Young Bucks to win, Bullet Club to take them off the Bucks. There you go. Yeah, we haven't even got there yet. Faye, you're jumping ahead. Come on, Faye. It's all good. Robbie said, I think the Acclaim member who took the belt to the head might be the fill-in for Cole. Talking about Max? And then when Cole gets back, he resumes as a tag team partner. So, in other words, he'll leave Joe out altogether. Sandy, you have Turkey Day? I've always been curious about this. So, I've worked with people all over the world who have heard of the American Thanksgiving holiday, but they don't have a Thanksgiving in their part of the world, wherever country they're in. So, Sandy, you have a Turkey Day in Germany? I'm very intrigued by that. Sugar Shane says Bullet Club wins the whole show. The Guns win the tag titles and Switchblade wins the championship. Ooh. Interesting. Anything could happen, man. Anything could happen. Let's keep on trucking. Hikaru Shida versus Timeless Toni Storm. Singles match for AEW Women's World Championship. I think they took the belt off Saraya and put it on Shida to put it on Storm. So then they could later have the rivalry between Storm and Saraya. So I believe that's what we're going to see. In my opinion, Shida loses the championship on Saturday. That does not mean it's going to happen. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Are we going to have a new Women's World Champion? I'm very curious. Faye says we don't have Thanksgiving. We just do a big turkey day at Christmas. Oh, there you go. Oh. Tim says on Collision, there's not much talk. It's more fight. Yeah, that's why I enjoy New Japan so much. No talky. More fighty. I'm here. You know what I want? I want more fighty. That's who I am. It's not really who I am. It just sounded good. Ray says, Timeless, I love her. Timeless Toni Storm is the best thing in the business. Come at me. Anybody says it's not, it's wrong. Respectfully, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. You're also entitled to have the wrong opinion. That's what you want to do. It's dumb. Toni Storm's great. We all should be worshiping at the altar of Toni Storm. One day when I grow up, I want to be like Toni Storm. Dude, she's got to be having the most fun ever. How is she not having fun? Be real. How is anything she's doing, not that there's no skill in the ring, don't misunderstand, but like she's got to be having the most fun. Like when you're the late great Bray Wyatt, rest in peace Bray Wyatt, when you're Terry Funk, when you're Mick Foley, you know, you're choosing your words, you're thinking, you know, the late great Dusty Rhodes, you know what I mean? You're thinking and I'm putting this here and I'm putting that there and I'm doing this, you know what I mean? Toni just, not that she doesn't put any thought to it, but man, she's just having fun. And I'm telling you something, when talents have fun, it absolutely reflects, doesn't it? Don't you feel it through your TV? It's like the best thing ever. That's why I love Toni Storm so much. Jeffrey says, the way they're pushing Toni Storm, she's going to win the belt tomorrow. I agree. She says, he says, I have no problem worshiping at the altar of Toni Storm. There you go. Tim says, I can't stand Toni Storm segment. It's so annoying. Tim, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay. No one's perfect. People get stuff wrong all the time. I've made so many mistakes in my life and had bad views or weird views. It's okay, Tim. We all still like you. We would love you if you like Toni Storm. But that ship has sailed, Tim. Maybe if you'll come around to the right way of thinking. I love how even the match promo, she's in black and white and her opponent's in color. That's so much fun. I don't know how in the world. Oh, Lord. Chris, I'm not putting your spiteful, hateful comment on my show. It's my show. Talking about hit the hot garbage button. Tim is right. You and Tim can just go on somewhere. By the way, Chris Patton has his emoji, his avatar for his Facebook page there. We're going to be covering a 6M podcast. Our Christmas episode is coming up in a couple of weeks, kids. Just look at his emoji. Look at his avatar. I'm going to make you do some work. I'm not telling you anything. It's okay to be a Jamie Hayter fan, Tim, but you can be a fan of other people as well. Yeah. I do believe that Shida is losing that belt. Will I be right? I have no idea. We shall see, kids. We shall see. The third match, Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland with Ric Flair versus Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. 6-man tag team match. I mean, this has got to be Sting, Darby, and Copeland going over, right? It has to be. It just has to be. It doesn't have to be anything, I don't suppose. But wouldn't it make more sense if it was? Let's be honest. Talk about someone else that's having fun. That's Adam Copeland, dude. Are you kidding me? Adam Copeland's having a blast. Adam Copeland's going to be tagging with Sting. We should all be so lucky. You know what I mean? You know how excited you are to see Sting on your TV and how much you respect his talent and ability? Now imagine getting to do work with him. You kidding me? Lord have mercy. Reno says, whether you like or not, there comes a time when a wrestler makes something work. I went through the same thing with the New Day and finally came around to liking and then loving them. They made it work. New Day is the longest running faction today, with the exception of Bullet Club. I don't think there's another faction in a major company that predates New Day besides Bullet Club. I can't think of any. Not faction. To me, definition of a faction is 3 or more people. So that's how I feel. New Day's great. New Day's great. New Day took a big steaming vat of waste and turned it into a freaking rose garden, didn't they? Like, it was horrible. Remember the first spots where they were in a church and there was like choir music and stuff, and you're like, what is this? And I'm sure they said, what is this? But like Bruno said, they turned it. They found a way to turn. And that company, which is not easy to do, because everything you do and say in that company is so heavily freaking controlled. Jeff says, if Copeland, Sting, and Darby don't win, we riot. There you go. Tim says, Nick Wayne theme song is fire. Sandy, I appreciate you very much, my friend. I appreciate you. Let's see. Shane says, I think it sets it up for Flair to screw Sting out of the match. I think he may, but I don't think it's going to happen Saturday night. I think eventually you might be right, but I do not believe it happens tomorrow night. CRP says, assuming it's in reference to Tony Storm, I just don't like the I'm crazy on drugs take on Marilyn Monroe and Mansfield. To each their own, though. Oh, well, you know what? That's a different way of looking at it. Yeah, it's different. It's different. I mean, I'll give you that. It's different. But again, different works. It's hard to stand out in this business, man. It's hard to do anything that makes you stand out from the pack. And, you know, I've said for a few years now, Danhausen is one of... Danhausen is the most unique gimmick that I've seen in the past 10 years, with the exception of Orange Cassidy. Unique in as much as I've never seen it before. I've seen guys paint up before, but I've never seen someone that has that combination of quirkiness and darkness, but comedy. And yeah, I mean, Dan's it, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Orange is the same way, different gimmick, right? But it's hard to stand out in this business. It's really, really hard to stand out in this business. And those two guys have found a way to do it. Tony Storm now. Tony Storm wasn't standing out before. Solid talent. Really, really good worker. No disrespect. She wasn't standing out. Everything Tony did was blending in with everything every other woman did in that company. Right? Not now. Not now. And it's the idea of, you know, we put a fresh coat of paint on her. You know what I mean? She put a fresh coat of paint on herself, I guess. Right? But it's all good. It's like you said, to each his own. It's all subjective anyway. It's all subjective anyway. Jeff says, I disagree with you, Robbie. Too soon for anything like that to happen already. Oh, I see. Robbie said, love to see Sting and Darby win. But look at another side of the coin. Would have Christian Luchasaurus win, then Flair becomes like, Yeah, I think it's too soon. I think it's too soon as well. Yeah. Next up, kids, the aforementioned Orange Cassidy taking on Jon Moxley for the AEW International Championship. Smart money is on Jon Moxley. You know why I say smart money? Because Jon wasn't supposed to lose that match against Phoenix. Jon was rocked from where Phoenix landed on his head, and they called an audible in the ring. So John wasn't even supposed to lose the title that night. I think he was supposed to eventually lose it back to Orange. That's what they were building toward, but they called an audible the night that John got hurt. Right? So Smart Money says Orange Cassidy is losing this championship back to Jon Moxley. However, I believe, and I don't do a lot of predictions because, predictions are, you're 50-50, man. You're 50-50, right? I think that Orange is going to pin him. I know what you're thinking. Tom, you've lost your mind. Age has finally caught up to you. Those headphones are a little tight, brother. I think Orange will pin him. That's how I feel. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe John will wipe the floor with him. I mean, not really, but maybe John will bloody him up and get the belt back. I don't know, dude. I don't know. CRP says Flair is a manager mentor to anyone. I'm not sold on it. It has failed in multiple companies with multiple wrestlers. I agree. And look, I grew up with Rick. We had this conversation a couple weeks ago here on the show. I have fond memories of Rick in his prime doing what he did as a character and on my TV. I don't need or want Ric Flair on my TV in 2023. No disrespect. But that guy's got too much baggage. There's too much stuff on Rick. And when there's too much stuff on somebody, it's you hang around someone too long, you start to smell like them. Do you know what I mean? No disrespect to Rick's accomplishments, but just because someone is a fine professional wrestler and considered perhaps the greatest of all time, it does not necessarily mean that that is a good person behind that gimmick. And wrestling's full of people who do terrible things. Just like I'm sure Major League Baseball and the NFL is full of people who do terrible things. And I would guess 80% of it you may never, ever hear about. But as we speak, players are doing stuff behind the scenes they shouldn't be doing. You know how I know this? Because we're all human. Not excusing anyone, just stating a fact. Rick should probably not have a role in a major televised professional wrestling program at this point in the game. I don't agree with it. But each his own, man. If you love Rick and none of that stuff bothers you, then none of that stuff bothers you. Tim says Jon Moxley winning that match. It won't take long for Moxley to bleed. Well, we always say when he comes out and takes a swig of water, he gets color, right? Let's see. CRP says, I got OC winning via his weird roll-up finish. Could be. Could be. See, Chris also says, also, Flair is always going to be about Flair. He will overshadow whoever he is there with. That's probably you know what? The only time it really ever worked was when he was coming out with Hunter. Because he did the fortune gimmick in TNA, and it was, God, he was on the mic every single time. Because Rick can talk. And when you have Ric Flair on your payroll, and you're paying him to be there, you put a mic in Ric Flair's hands. Don't you? Right? But you're right. He overshadowed everybody in that stable, and more often than not, really, really good talent. And then we had AJ Styles, for goodness sake. But he overshadowed him. It's part of the package deal, being considered the greatest of all time, for sure. Shane says, I believe Orange wins also improves to the world that he is Wrestler of the Year. Could be. Ray is not a fan of Orange Cassidy, kids. Gonna beat the brakes out of Orange, in my opinion. Yeah, he's not a fan. Oh, I see, Chris. I see where you're coming from. Yeah, that makes sense. It says he was still wrestling with Evolution, so I don't count that. Yeah, I get it. Robbie says Mox for sure. Ray says Mox. Yeah, we'll see, kids. We'll see what happens. Aren't we just churning right along and making all kinds of ground here? By the way, we're at the bottom of the hour, children. Happy early Thanksgiving there to all of you. If you have not yet visited BoingStudios.com, please do so today. You will find links to the podcast, the one you're listening and watching now, Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, and also Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. You'll find links to all of the major platforms where the podcasts are. You'll find them on boingstudios.com. And also, you'll find links to all of our social media, as well as special announcements. And yes, we stream live to the website. Boom. And if you're not involved in our Discord yet, you should be. If you would like a link to the Discord, it's real easy. Visit boingstudios.com and you'll get the link to the Discord. And you know what? Because I like you kids, I'll drop it in here. Here's the link, boingstudios.com. Go check it out, kids. I think you'll dig it. You better dig it. I dig it. I built this website, so hopefully you like it. I think it's pretty cool. And since we're here, we're going to go ahead and drop a link, and I'm setting the link so it does not expire. And that way you guys can join the Discord. Blip, blip, blip. And bam, there she is. The Boing Studios Discord. It's multifaceted. Know what that means? I don't either. I do. There's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of different channels. What's up, Ron? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, lots of channels in there. So go hang out, man. Can I be honest with you? We have several people in there. We've got 20 people total, counting myself. I like to make it 120. And then the more people we have, the more active it will be. Look at Faye being sweet. Ain't she awesome? What's up, Andy? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. TRP says, I love Flair. He just isn't manager or mentor as a wrestler, character, person. And like you said, baggage. Yeah, baggage. Just imagine being quite possibly the greatest in the game of all time. And it's, you have that you're carrying around with you. An asterisk, right? But he's got it. I'm sorry. He's got it. It's just, it's not how I feel. It's the truth. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana in a Texas death match. Let me tell you what happened on Dynamite Wednesday in case you didn't know. Adam Page cut the best promo on Strickland that he's cut so far. He got the crowd on his side, which is not easy to do because Page has not had the crowd on his side since he really first won the title. And let me tell you why. Page at any given time, in my estimation, does have an edge to him. But Page also comes off like a white meat babyface. And that's okay. Hook's a white meat babyface. But it doesn't always work. You see what I'm saying? And plus, Page is closely associated with the Bucks. And there's all that history between him and Punk. And I'm not saying I get it. I mean, maybe I am saying I get it. Page is really, really good. I'm just telling you my observation. It's not exactly easy for him to get over as a full-on babyface because the crowd has a thing with him. Not for him, but with him. And plus, everybody loves Swerve. You know what I mean? Everybody recognizes that Swerve. The words Swerve Strickland and future world champion are used together a lot. A whole lot, baby. Okay? And with good reason. When Swerve wins a title in that company, a world title, it's going to be because he earned it. You feel me? Because his time has come, right? So with all of that, with the understanding of all that, then yeah, it's a little harder for him to get over as a babyface. But he got over Wednesday. Everything he said about Swerve struck a chord with the crowd. It was great. He got very personal. But it's okay. Swerve supposedly walked up in his house to his kid's crib or whatever, his kid's bed, for crying out loud. What are we doing? Hey, look, man, it's TV. I'm okay. It's TV. You guys should be okay with that too. Tim said, Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland, that storyline got really personal. Yep, for sure. For sure. Faye says, I would love a heel Hangman run. Loved the stuff in New Japan when he was a heel. I agree with that, actually. And here's something else I'll tell you. Get ready for this. Is this a prediction? Maybe. Swerve needs to win this match. I don't think this is where Page gets his win back. And if Page gets his win back, there should be a third match where Swerve beats him and wins the feud and moves on to a championship match with whoever he's going to win a belt from. It's my thoughts, my opinion. I just don't know how you give Hangman his win back. I just don't know how. When you know that Hangman's already been there and Strickland has not been there yet. You see what I'm saying? Why in the world would you go, tit for tat for that? I don't understand why you do that. So if it's me, just put over Swerve, man. My opinion. We'll see. We'll see. Sandy, I know you're in the Discord, my friend. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Hey, Sandy, do me a favor. Introduce yourself in the Intro Yourself channel. If you guys, once you get the Discord, if you look at all the channel names, that's where I've created all those channels to have specific conversations. So let's say, for example, there's a comic book coming out, or there's one that you hadn't read in a while, and you want to talk about it, throw it in the comic books channel. If there's something on a streamer that you're watching, Hulu, Netflix, whatever, throw it on streaming TV channel. You guys get it, right? I've made it. And look, if there's a channel we're missing, please let me know. Please let me know, and I'll add the channel. How's that sound to you? Again, happy Friday to you kids. We're a week away from Turkey Day. Gobble, gobble. Shut up. You know it is. You know it is. Insanely fun. Yes, it is. In my opinion, Strickland needs to go over here. Does not mean he will. Just my thoughts. Texas Death Match. Uh-oh. The Golden Jets. And if you saw that horrible movie with Kevin Hart and The Rock, you know what Gold Jet came from. That was Kevin Hart's character. His nickname in the film was Golden Jet. Terrible movie. What was it called? I don't remember. Don't waste your time. The Golden Jets, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho versus the Young Bucks. It's a tag team match. If the Golden Jets win, they will get the Young Bucks AEW World Tag Team Championship opportunity. But if the Young Bucks win, the Golden Jets must disband as a team. I believe Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega are winning this match. But I could be wrong. It could be the Callis interferes and his boys cost these guys the win. That's what I think. Chris says, I have so much to say about Swerve, I'll save it. I love his build so far. One of the actual storylines I really like in AEW. It's really good, yeah. Really good. Yeah, you know what? We probably should have covered Survivor Series here because it won't be here next week. Kevin. By the way, everybody, enjoy that show next week. Central Intelligence, thank you, Ray. Yeah, terrible movie. Tim says that was a great movie. To each his own, brother. I hated that flick. Ooh. So bad. Those two guys, Rock's talented guys, so's Kevin Hart. But man, Kevin Hart has been just one bad movie after another. You know what I mean? He's been pigeonholed playing the same character basically in everything he's in. Melissa McCarthy's same deal. It's the Adam Sandler / Will Ferrell complex, right? You end up being pigeonholed as a certain character, and that's what you continue to play forever. You know what I mean? Kevin Hart's in that loop. Huge hamster wheel that guy's running in, dude. I like him a lot. Don't get me wrong. I don't dislike any of the people I just mentioned at all. None of them. Faye says, I just want Golden Lovers versus Young Bucks too. Ray says Kenny and Chris win. CRP says might be a big deal. Call CM Punk. Oh, next week. Yeah, it could be. You never know. I do not have a prediction of the War Games match, Sandy. I apologize for not having anything from WWE for you on the docket today. I know you're a big WWE guy, man. I just don't have anything for you. Hope the show goes well. Hope the matches are awesome and everything works and everything's awesome. You know what I mean? And everybody comes out of that show healthy and in good shape. None the worse for wear. Chris says, my prediction is Kevin Owens takes 1 million bumps. I'll agree with that assessment. Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart versus Sky Blue. 3-way match for the AEW TBS Championship. I believe Statlander. All right, here's a bold prediction. I think Julia Hart could win this with the help of Sky Blue. I don't know if I'm absolutely flat out predicting it, but I think it could go that way. Here's what I'll tell you, and I know what you're going to say, Tom. Telling a story takes time. You can't just and shouldn't just want to snap your fingers and want a storyline to be over. I completely understand, and I completely agree. However, I am sick of this Sky Blue stuff. I've had it. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. She is such a good baby face. So is Willow. Such good baby faces. And now she's weird and she's quirky and she's got the eye paint happening and she never smiles. Ever, ever, ever. I'm not a fan. I like her a lot. She's great. I'm not a fan of this angle. I don't have to be. It's okay. Not for me. I'm just tired of it. I think they're going in circles with it. I think Julia leading a stable of some, tough as nails women is a great idea. I love me some Julia Hart. Julia's doing her thing. Love her. I'm not thrilled with this Sky Blue stuff. Let's go. What are we doing? I just don't feel as though we're making any progress. One week we think she might be, and next week she slaps her, next week she spits on her, whatever, and we can't figure out what's, you know what I mean? I'm okay with twists and turns. I don't need my hand held. Don't misunderstand me. But I just want something to happen. Let's go. What are we doing? Go, go, go. Let's go. Because to me, I don't see any forward progress being made. It's not compelling television to me. That's all I'll say. Vic says Julia Hart takes the win. There you go. Chris says you can draw a lot of comparisons to Blue and Liv and WWE. Yeah. Yeah, I think Sky is much better, the ring. I like Liv Morgan, but I think actually Sky's better. Ray says, I don't know much about Sky Blue, but Willow should not be a heel. Agreed. You notice it kind of looked like that they pulled the reins back on that because they had her with the funky eye and not smiling that much. And then suddenly the funky eye is gone and she's back to smiling again. I think that, here's what I'll tell you. Wrestlers read their own press. Like Nate Shelley and Ted Lasso. Wrestlers read their own press. I promise you. I know that for a fact. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying a good number of them do. If for no other reason, I believe a lot of these folks like to think, because they get curious about if what they're doing is getting over. It's one thing to see and hear it live and in person in an arena. It's another thing to see the impact it has on socials the next day. So I know for a fact a lot of these folks are reading their own press. So I think, don't take this as the gospel, don't know if it is, but I believe at some point someone's reading socials and saying, ugh, people are turning on this Willow turning heel stuff, man. Maybe we should have a conversation. Because remember, there's no storyline writers in that company. The talent involved have a lot of say in what happens. It could have just been she said, look, I don't think this is getting over. So why don't we back it up just a bit? Jeff says sometimes AW takes too long telling story and then doesn't know how to finish it. So I would agree with that to a certain point, but again, maybe I'm just impatient. Maybe that's the answer here. Maybe that's the problem. Chris says I wouldn't disagree with that in ring. Some get over. Let's turn them heel and put diamonds under their eyes, etc. Yeah. It's just yeah. Tim says, how about this? Julia wins with the help of Sky Blue and joins the House of Black. Do they need both of them, though? Or would Julia have her own offshoot? Her own offshoot of a stable? I think I'd be more interested if Julia was given like the New Age Outlaws was an offshoot of DX. Maybe give Julia her own stable that's an offshoot of House of Black. We don't have any women's stables. We need them. We don't have enough women's wrestling, and we got women. If you got women, they should be wrestling. You feel me? Don't know why they're not. I don't get it. Put them to work. They want to work. Let's go. 4-way tag team match for the AW World Tag Team Championship. Ricky Starks and Big Bill defending against La Facción and Gobernable of Rush and Jalisco with Jose the Assistant versus FTR, Cash and Dax versus Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi and Brody King. I don't really know what's happening with FTR, and I don't know that anyone else does either. They're barely talking these days, and when they talk, it's just sporadic. You barely see them. They're on Collision. Anytime you see them, they're on Collision. I'm not really sure what's going on here. There's still singles matches with these guys. I think Dax is facing somebody tonight in a singles match. I'm like, so there could be more things going on than I know about, to be honest. But at the same time, I'm not sure what's going on. FTR's tag team champions were crushing it. I don't care what anybody says. I thought they were crushing it and doing a fine job. The only reason you put it on Starks and Bill is because you feel like Ricky's earned it and that Bill has really come a long way since coming to that company. And good for him. He really, truly has. Good for him. But like, and I don't dislike either one of these cats. I like Ricky a lot. But like, you know, remember I was talking about Smart Money with Mox? Smart Money, you say Roosh and Jalistico because they're buzzsaws. You know what I mean? They're absolute buzzsaws. Holy freaking Lord. Roosh, dude. Hey. Smart Money says those are the two guys. Don't think it'll happen. At least not tomorrow night. We'll see. Who do you guys have for the World Tag Team Championships? Predictions. Tim says, I don't know why LFI are faces and doesn't feel right. I agree. They're really, really good heels, but they've done that. So, like, let's switch it up. Let's switch it up. Because I feel like they could do either one. Unlike Sky, Sky could be heel. But the weird thing where I got the mist and now I don't talk and I don't smile. You can be a heel and still smile. I mean, Ember Moon does it every week. Ember Moon. Do you hear what I just said? Hoy. Apologies to Athena. Athena does it every week. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's possible to take your gimmick and to morph it into heel or to face, and it's a variation. What they got Sky doing is not a variation. It's nothing that we've seen before from her. See what I mean? But like LFI, man, I'm okay with them being face. I agree with you. It does look kind of odd. But they could push that button anytime they want to. Vic says, you mess the bull, you get the horns. They take the win. Well, there you go. That's a bold prediction. Kevin says, do you think Damage Control will turn on Bailey at Survivor Series? I think it's too early. My opinion. I think it's too early. I think it may happen. I think it's too early. Maybe you'll be right and they will. Tim says, Billy and Ricky retain their titles. Could very well be. Do you think FTR needs Tully Blanchard back? Not necessarily, no. I don't think they need anyone back. I think it's just a matter of, yeah. Isn't that the word, Ray? Is that Cash is injured, right? And that's why they're not really doing a whole lot right now. I don't think they really need anybody, to be honest with you. They just need to figure out what's going on here. Chad Too Bad says, I liked your idea 2 weeks ago, but AEW didn't listen. Nick Wayne want to know. Yeah, I just don't agree with that. He's not 1-0, he's 1-1. Isn't he? Isn't he? I think. Because he lost his first match. And he's worked tag matches too, so are you going to count those? I haven't kept up with win-loss. Remember how AEW used to keep up with it every week and now they really don't anymore? Your last championship match of the night is the main event. MJF versus Jay White. Singles match for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. I will say the same thing I said earlier, and I will not go back from it. Resolve the title situation. It's important. Got to figure this out. Resolve the belt situation. Again, when MJF runs out to try to get his belt and they chase him away, it's weird to me. It's extraordinarily weird to me. I get it from a certain regard because it's like MJF would have no friends in that company. He never had bridges to burn because he never built any bridges to begin with. Even when he ran the Pinnacle, it wasn't, it didn't matter. It didn't matter because they all knew they were in it not to be a family, but to get paid. Because it's a heel faction, right? So he never burned bridges because he never had any bridges built to begin with. So it makes sense that the character wouldn't have any friends. However, what doesn't make sense is for your top guy, supposedly your champion as well, to be running like a coward when he's supposedly babyface. Babyfaces don't run from a fight. When that happened that night, I'm like, ooh, that felt weird. Didn't mean it killed him. Don't misunderstand me. It feels weird. Who is the devil, children? I do not think it's Punk, Vic. A lot of people are saying that. It'd be the biggest swerve in the history of swerves. I mean, it could be the second biggest swerve of all time. But I do not think it's Punk. Ray says MJF keeps it. Hopefully Devil comes out and it's Adam Cole. I still believe it would be Cole. Let's see. We'll see, though. But yeah, so we'll see. Well, kids, who's just signing for the pay-per-view? Ron? I hope not. They don't need Ronda Rousey. They do not need Ronda Rousey. No disrespect to Miss Rousey. They don't need her. They shouldn't sign her. They've got plenty of great female talents there that either they don't put on TV or they do put on TV, there's no storylines. They do not today nor tomorrow need a Ronda Rousey or Ronda Rousey herself. My opinion. It's what I think. Guess what, kids? Floor's wide open. We got 7 minutes to the top of the hour, and then I'm going to get out of here. I got to hit the road and start picking people up. Turkey Day happens tomorrow for me. And again on Turkey Day, what are we talking about? That's right. Gobble, gobble, baby. Rob says, here's a scenario. They say the Devil is short. MJF wins the title, and the Devil attacks MJF in the ring. And the mask is lifted to reveal Mr. Neck Injury himself. Makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, they've already spoiled that on TV. Cole's already said it. Or somebody said it. Yeah, Cole said it to him, didn't they? In my opinion, it should be someone they haven't said on TV. Russell, what's up, Eric Jackson? What's going on? Good to see you. Chris, I have not. I've had my head down working since we talked about it on Discord. I need to check. I may listen to it on the way up there and see how bad it is. Hey, I'll give it a shot. You haven't ruined it for me. I'm gonna see if I like it. Ray says Pete Rock and CL Smooth are NWA. Ooh, I'll say NWA. That's a tough one though. Lil Wayne or Busta Rhymes. I'll go Busta Rhymes on that. Even though I like Wayne a lot, he's a very, very smart cat. If Adam Cole came to your house and invited you and your family to a very private Thanksgiving Day parade on his block with tons of floats and delicious hot pumpkin coffee and said you could bring a friend, could I come? Yes. And later want to go to dinner to get grilled chicken and garden salad, could I come as well? That's a weird thing to have on Thanksgiving, but yes, absolutely. 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 Pardon the typing, children. My apologies. Tom Park going to Collision next year in Charlotte. Who, me? I did not get tickets. I thought about it. I've had a lot going on over the past few weeks, man. Trust me when I tell you that. I've had my head down, busy trying to make some moves happening professionally. Hopefully those moves will be realized. Something pretty awesome I've been working on behind the scenes, and hopefully it will come to pass. I'm very excited about it. Hopefully it'll work out. So I'd like to have the thing I'm trying to get, which I'm not going to say out loud because, you know, it's none of your business. Okay. I'm not kidding. It's really none of your business, but I'm not rude about it. Come on. I'm just saying. I hope it works out. Thank you, Ray. You're awesome, dude. 4 minutes, kids, and we're out of here. Rob says the open floor group question. If you could talk wrestling with 3 wrestlers, dead or alive, who would it be and why? For him, it would be Jim Ross and Mick Foley because they've been everywhere, and Kevin Von Erich because his family is the first wrestling I saw live. For me, it's I will always begin and end with Dusty. Every single time it will be Dusty is my first answer. Love me some Dusty. Dusty was my father figure as a child, and he was a stand-in. So how about this? I will say Dusty and then Cody, so I could tell Cody what I just said about his dad, which I'm sure he's heard before. And as far as the third one, ooh, man, that's tough. I'll say Okada, but there's an obvious language barrier, right? But I just love Okada. He's my guy. I'll say Sting. Jeff just said Sting. I'll go Sting then. I'll say Dusty, Cody, and then Sting. Vic says, what's your thoughts on TK putting Collision up against SmackDown tonight instead of putting Collision on Sunday? Well, it could be that putting Collision on Sunday wasn't an option. So that's how I answer that. Look, Vic, this is not aimed at you. But because things air on the same night, like NXT did it a few weeks ago, remember? Were they, not NXT, what am I thinking of? Oh, when Dynamite had to move, NXT's done it too, right? But like WWE does stuff, and I think that SmackDown's going to do what SmackDown's going to do. And of course, they're not, AEW won't be able to touch it, but I don't care. Like it doesn't really matter to me. I used to give ratings on here every week. Y'all know that. I stopped doing it a long time ago because it just, there's no real need for it. And I've always felt like, well, my audience is smart. They can go look it up if they want to. You know what I mean? So I think they're in this, again, I think they're in a spot and in a position where they had to do it tonight. They couldn't do Collision on Sunday. Kevin says Hogan, Savage, and Dusty. There you go. Shane says Funk, JBL, really? Ooh. I used to write for JBL. JBL had his own website called the Layfield Report. He always did right by me. In fact, JBL still owes me $500. That's the truth. He would run monthly writing contests, and whoever got the most views would get paid. Like the second most would get $250, the top would get $500. I won it a couple of times, and I won it the last time, but he shut his website down and he never paid. So JBL still owes me $500. It's okay. It's okay. I'll tell you something, JB. I'm coming for that. I'm going to take that money out of your hide. Right? Bunkhouse match. I'm not taking a clothesline from hell. You take a clothesline from hell. I'm not taking it. Chris says SmackDown moving to USA will drop ratings. It's a cable station. Yep. That's just visibility to some extent, though. Agree. Hey, Bart Gunn. You know what? I'd hire the APA, but I can't, can I? Jeff said they probably have things planned on Collision that will affect the pay-per-view on Sunday. Excellent answer. Vic says Dusty and Roddy Piper and the Road Warriors. Ooh, yeah, because we've lost both Hawk and Animal, right? Yeah. Well, kids, guess what? There you have it. We're getting out of here. The floor is open. It is now closed. No more questions. Knock it off. Just kidding. I'm not kidding. I got to go. All right, folks, I appreciate you very much. Thanks for your time and attention as always. BoinkStudios.com, B-O-I-N-K, BoinkStudios.com. You'll find show links to our 3 podcasts, Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M Podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Please go visit the website today and bookmark today. You'll also find links to all of our socials there as well. Please go follow us on all of our social media. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. I want everybody out there to do me a favor. Have a great, happy, and healthy. That takes forever, doesn't it? Turkey Day. I'm getting out of here. Thanks, kids. I appreciate you. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We won't be here next week. Don't forget I said that. I guarantee I'll get message next week. Are you not going live today? The main event will not be here next week, kids. Go enjoy your families. Have a great holiday week. Celebrate. Eat turkey and ham and stuffing and potato salad and deviled eggs. Oh my God, I'm getting hungry. I've had no lunch today. Believe that. Have a great holiday week, kids. I appreciate you very much. And if you don't celebrate it, have a great week anyway. All right, wherever you are in the world. I appreciate you very much. Thanks, as always, kids. We'll see you next time. Join us in 2 weeks. We'll see you later. Tom Clark's Main Event, folks. Have a great one.